Hi guys, my name is Meg and I'm here to talk to you very briefly, and I figured it might be easier to do this via video with regards to the decompression testing, and to just kind of give you a rundown about understanding the type of dog that you've just rescued or are fostering, so that we can make sure that it's a very safe transition and we avoid any unnecessary mishaps. So part of my job is I work with Hearts of the North. I'm very new to the group, but I have about 17 years in behavioral training, as well as working with specifically hunting and working dogs. So, as you can probably tell on most of the paperwork that you would have received, it states that your dog is probably a pit mix. So there's some little bit of controversy around that. It seems like a very easy way to label any type of dog, even though really pits aren't as popular in North America as people seem to think, and there's a lot of confusion around the Staff Terrier, which is also a working dog, almost identical to the pit bull, a little bit more aggression, and definitely a much stronger working dog. So when we say working dog, we're talking about a breed of dog that has been specifically over many decades engineered to do a certain job. And usually a working dog is a dog that is very independent. So if you look at Rottweilers, they were bred to move livestock. English bulldogs were meant to bring in bulls. You look at your German short-haired pointers, you look at your hound dogs, they're all dogs that belong in a pack, but have a very independent mind as far as it goes with a job. So they have some very interesting characteristics. First off is that they are very intelligent, they need to be kept busy, they are very independent, and that they are bred to work. So they're dogs that require, sometimes 6 to 8 hours of actual exercise, which is pretty much impossible if you're a living, functioning human being. So we really have to look at ways to combat that. So you suddenly have an animal. We're going to be joined here by one of my other rescues. So you definitely have an animal that is engineered to do a job, is mind-wise engineered to do a job, and of course is built to do a job, because one of the things that working dogs do is usually deal with some type of a livestock, which is dangerous. So they're bred to be a little tough. So one of the things that we like to discuss, of course, is understanding that, and by all means, the AKC, the CKC, the UKC has some wonderful background on any breed that you have. If you have any type of a shepherd, any type of a hound, any type of a hunting dog, and definitely any type of a bulldog, and that covers a wide range. Definitely pop on there and look at some of the resources that are available, and you can pretty much pinpoint out some really interesting facts about their characteristics and breeds. So I've spent the last number of years working with hunting dogs specifically, and they are probably one of the highest rehomed breeds, or classification of breeds, and are also usually the most neglected. So it's, retraining the mind. So one of the things that happens a lot of the time is that these dogs, right from the very beginning, were adopted because it was a nice idea to have a puppy, or a really nice idea to have a dog, without understanding the commitments. And we see it all the time. I have shown dogs, I've been involved with the CKC, and it's amazing how many people will look and say, I really want a husky, they're so beautiful, I love those blue eyes, and don't realize they don't do well in small climates. They're very vocal, they shed a lot, and they're bred to work. So they are not, they're not the perfect fit for every single family. And despite how nice and pretty things are, sometimes it's just not the right time for that breed of dog. So, for example, you can probably see somewhere in my background here, is a Boston Terrier that we rescued. We're busy, but we're low-key busy. So my probably most suiting breed of dog for my family and how we work and the fact that we travel and own businesses is an English Bulldog, which we do have. She's a couch potato. When I ran and was very active, a German short-haired pointer was a great dog for me. So there's different ways to kind of look at where you want to be and where your classifications are. So back again to the fact that working dogs are definitely one of the most misunderstood classifications of breeds. It's really important to look at that, understand what that means, and they're very intelligent because they've been bred to be independent thinkers, to do their working jobs. That also means that their brains work on a level you would probably not ever imagine. So there's two different things that we talk about, which is mental exhaustion, which is what kind of curbs a lot of the behavioral issues that you'll see in dogs. And then there's physical exhaustion, and that more kind of tapers in the destructive tendencies that they have. I've seen German short-haired pointers chew through a person's wall. I've seen Weimaraner's go through literally a pane glass window. I've seen them wreck kennels. I've seen them, you name it, they've done it. So the exercise part definitely curbs that. But a busy mind is what will help you with any type of behavioral issue. And it also helps them to accustom too, because you have a dog right now, and let's be honest, that has probably not been socialized. It probably has been abused. It probably has no sense of a pack, and it probably has absolutely zero confidence or really understanding on how language works. And it's fantastic to take them home and, humanize them and love them and kiss them and put them in outfits and bath them and all that type of stuff. But you also have to understand that when you have a dog that's missing very important components of socialization, especially human socialization, that you are dealing with a dog that is missing very important steps into adulthood. So you want to do lots of things that will help keep that mind busy. It'll help them adjust. An idle mind is, probably not a safe mind. That stands for these dogs as well. So when we talk about the decompression testing, it's really important to follow through with the decompression. One of the things that is most important is that you have just had a dog that lived probably in its time before it hit a shelter in a very segregated or very chaotic environment. And now you have a dog that has been in a shelter with numerous other dogs, but has been partitioned from those dogs. So though there is all of that kind of friendly scent, there's no actual pack structure. So it causes a lot of aggression, and it definitely causes a lot of overstimulus. So you've got already what we kind of call, emotionally a ticking time bomb. So one of the things that we like to see you do is bring them home and put them in a very quiet environment in your home. Everything has changed for them. Temperature, barometric pressure, the altitude at which they're at, all of those things will throw them off. It's a big change. And they have no idea why this change has happened. So we really can't stress the decompression part enough. A safe spot, a quiet spot. By all means, go in and talk. Respect the space. If they seem nervous and they're crouching down, one of the things that is safe to do when a dog that you can trust is nervous is to crouch down. It's okay to get low. Don't get too low. It's okay to ask for, a little bit of acknowledgement, but not too much. The other thing that you want to do, and this is very important in the decompression stage, is that by segregating this dog, they have access to watch you. And one of the most important things that you could possibly ever do as a dog owner is to create a safe leadership hierarchy in your home. So, for example, in my house, I have a Jack Russell Terrier, I have an English Bulldog, I have a senior Boston Terrier, as well as numerous fosters that come in and out. My dogs know, first off and foremost, that they never go ahead of me. So if someone comes to my door, nobody rushes and barks. If there's any type of chaos or the kids are kind of excited and running around, nobody gets up and goes after them. They mimic my behaviors. So if you have another dog in your home, it's definitely important to, have that your family pet with you, and also exhibit, that this dog is the next in the pack. Because the other thing is that these animals have been denied so much, that we want to make sure that when they're here, there isn't a fight for attention. There isn't a fight for food. There isn't a fight for space. It's definitely moving them into the bottom of that pack, and letting them know that they've been accepted, but that they have a place in your house. It's really important, and we see that a lot of the time. We see that a lot with our rescues who people will get, and it's not just Hearts of the North, it's any rescue, and I've worked with numerous across the country. And then a new dog will come into the house and suddenly there's aggression that wasn't there before. Well, a lot of the times it's because that first dog was treated as an equal to the owner. So this new dog comes in, and it's usually of the same sex, that threatens their spot. So they become aggressive towards that in order to protect, that they're top on the pack. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And the decompression stays is a wonderful way for your dog to kind of visualize what goes on in your house, visualize your interactions with your dogs, and to allow them to kind of find their space. One of the other things that when you're going through the decompression, especially if you have other animals in your house, always continue to go to your first animals first. So my Boston Terrier that's back here, he is the oldest of my pack right now. So in my household, no matter what we do, and we run everything on a time schedule because we have multiple dogs, he is fed first, he's let out first, he's addressed first, and that's where he sits. So continue to do those things, because you have no way of sitting your animal down or sitting your new foster or your new family pet down and saying, I rescued you, I'm going to give you a safe home, I'm going to do those things. They understand body language, they understand order, and they understand, I don't want to say aggression, but they understand confidence. So keep all of those things in mind. So I hope that you have had a wonderful experience. I know it's so hard to not, run around and show everybody and take them out and let them play in the snow and have them out for walks and cuddled on the couch, and it's really hard not to. However, we brought those animals here to save them. And in all of the confusion and turmoil, we don't want to put anyone in a situation where, first off, they're, could possibly be hurt. Human safety is above all when it comes to rescuing. And we also don't want to set them up to fail. So you've taken on a project. It's probably the most rewarding project you will ever do. And if you have any questions, if you would like any resources with regards to, books to read, websites to visit, using positive reinforcement, that's probably one of the most important things you can do, and we can probably talk about that in a short video clip as well. It is the quickest way to correct issues, and it's a great experience for both. So keep in mind that your dog has gone through a lot of changes. Keep in mind that there is no way for you to communicate what those changes are. Love and cuddles and snuggles don't always fix everything, and it's very important to think like your dog, and make sure that you're one step ahead of your dog, and the decompression phase will definitely help with that. So best of luck. Again, my name is Meg, and I'm VP with Hearts of the North, and if anybody needs anything, by all means, I'm on the chat. You can also get my cell number or my email, or message me on the Facebook application as well, and we'll keep providing you with resources and all kinds of great tidbits of information, and hopefully that if you do have any issues or concerns, that we can address those, and to make this a great smooth transition. It was a lot of dogs to come over, so we thank each and every one of you. You know, a dog is a lifetime commitment. It's more than a lifetime commitment, it's an hour by hour commitment, and it's a wonderful experience when it kind of fulfills both your needs and both your canine's needs. So again, congratulations, and if you need anything at all, just let us know.